So about 1:21, we received a call about a car crash into the Hispanic Cultural Center today. My understanding is that BCSO deputies were on scene. Initially, APD arrived on scene and AFR arrived on scene, all in the same kind of time area. Once officers got onto scene, they discovered that a vehicle had crashed into the front entrance of the Hispanic Cultural Center. The car seemed to be going at a high rate of speed, and there's speculation that it may have been intentionally driven into the front of the building. We're going to have to do an investigation to determine exactly what happened to cause this crash. The crash did start a fire, and the lieutenant can talk to you a little bit about that. I do want to just say that the driver of the vehicle, a male, adult male, was transported to the hospital and is in critical condition. There was a female passenger in the car who also suffered injuries, appeared to be superficial at this point, and she is also at the hospital. Our officers on scene have consulted with our different investigations bureau, and it sounds like our impact detectives are going to come and start an investigation. It does appear, just from statements made by the female, that there was some sort of altercation between the two individuals that may have started this and caused the male individual to drive intentionally into the building. Without an interview with him, doing a lot of speculating. But we're looking at video, talking to witnesses. Initially, some of the people who work here at the Cultural Center were concerned that maybe pedestrians got struck, but we're sure that no pedestrians were struck. It was just the driver and the other occupant of the vehicle.
There are a lot of tire marks that I've never noticed in front of the Cultural Center before. Are any of these, I would say yes, are any of these related to the wreck?
I am not certain. I think this car just went at a high rate of speed straight into the Cultural Center.
Are they in custody at the hospital?
They're under guard watch.
Can we talk about kind of what you guys are doing and the structural damage of the building? I mean, the car is almost on the other end of the hole.
So as he covered a lot of it, initially Squad 2 was the first unit on scene for AFR. That's one behind us here. They're actually our heavy rescue company. So it's good that they're here. But they did find 2 people outside the vehicle, as he mentioned. One's transported in critical condition, one is transported with superficial injuries. What they're doing now is just shoring up the building. There was some damage to the front of the building from where the car entered it. And as you mentioned, the car is all the way inside the building. It's actually up against the hallway on the other side. So they're just shoring it up to make sure that a tow company can come and actually pull the vehicle out. So all they're doing is trying to just stabilize the structure.
Feet-wise, how far down is that car to the front?
It's just across the hall. It's like a T hallway right there, so it's just across the hall, so maybe 12 feet.
What was the fire like?
So as Gilbert mentioned, calls started coming in about 13:21 or just after 1:20. They were getting calls for a motor vehicle accident into a building. We started getting calls in the alarm room for a fire alarm. So our initial response to here was a fire alarm that was actually upgraded into a vehicle into a building. So it was a small fire started by the collision that was put out with the fire extinguisher prior to our arrival. So we didn't have to do any fire suppression efforts on our arrival. They triaged patients, got them transported, and then shifted into making sure the building was evacuated and that it's now structurally sound.
And you said AFR found the 2 people outside of the car ejected, or they came out?
From video that I've heard that has been reviewed, it sounds like they got out on their own.
What kind of car was it?
I'm not sure of the make and model.
Gilbert, when you say that the 2 people were having an altercation, the 2 people who were inside the vehicle,
Yeah,
that's who you mean?
From the initial statements from the female, there was some sort of altercation as they were driving. I believe the female was telling the male to slow down, stop. She kept accelerating into the building.
And when you guys are investigating it as intentional as in he wanted to hurt someone in this building, or intentional as in he didn't want her to stop?
It's too early to say exactly, but maybe intentionally trying to hurt her would be the first thing we'll be looking at.
Any drugs or alcohol involved?
We don't know at this point.
When you say no pedestrians hit, can you confirm that nobody outside the 2 people in the car were injured? No one else?
My understanding, nobody else was injured.
Yes, that's correct.
Okay.
Lieutenant, can you talk about, because they're going to be here for a bit, so what do they have left to do in order for you guys to secure the building?
They're just putting a brace up across basically the entrance of the building. And again, a tow truck operator still has to come and pull that car out. So we have to make sure that it's safe for anybody that's going to get into the entrance of that building and be able to chain up a car and actually pull back to the structure. And that there's enough room for them to actually get that car out.
You happen to know?
I don't know.
The only communication staff kind of outside the building.
it was happening on the opposite side of the building. So no certain staff personnel, no other people outside. So
You have students and stuff here, correct? I
that
saw.
is in the education building.
Okay.
What? Sorry, so what?
Sorry? Those students have since gone home? Yes.
So in this building, you said there was one staff member,
Adjacent on the opposite side.
but inside, just on the opposite side.
On the opposite.
So only one employee, even in this building, and they were not near the crash site.
It's kind of my understanding, right? The hallway right here.
Yes, sir.
That's another wall. Yeah, we're really fortunate that nobody else was injured. It seemed to be a really, you know, whether it's intentional or not, a really dangerous act that this person did driving into the building. So we're really fortunate. And as you can see, this part of the building is pretty far from the actual parking lot and the road here.
And just to reiterate, the fire was started by the car and then who put it out?
It was put out prior to our arrival, so somebody here that was on scene or witnessed it put it out with the fire extinguisher prior to us getting here. We didn't have to take care of any fire when
We'll try to find out who did that.
Do we know how the car even got in here? Were these gates open prior to everyone getting here?
I don't know.
Okay.
And he just clarified it was a member of their staff that extinguished the fire with the fire extinguisher.
And they did. I know that they did get the gas company to turn off the gas right away. Okay.